Welcome everybody, all the listeners, the 20 people as of today, to Quest for Gil, the video game podcast.
That's very unfortunate that there's 20 people that have suffered through the last one.
Well, maybe they didn't even suffer through. Maybe they just clicked on it and then went, whoa.
They accidentally left a plane in the background. They didn't even know.
This one's even better, though. This is version 2.
What's
where
new?
We have things to talk about that aren't E3 and the shit show that it was.
I was very sick of E3.
I was fucking sick of it.
You know, I didn't even watch it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, I was like, this is a good start, because we've been talking about the podcast for like 2 weeks. I was like, this is a good start. E3, there's going to be games, there's lots to talk about.
There was a lot to talk about.
And that was the problem.
It was too much.
And then you know, we had delays, you were sick, and we couldn't be fucked, and
I mean, I'm always sick
downfall.
though, so this is just going to be, this is going to be the next 3 months of my life. So
unbelievable.
Yeah. Anyway, who are you?
I'm Erekose, and I'm making a video game. Who are you?
I'm Hamish, and I'm doing the same.
That's dope.
But I'm also working at supermarkets. It's just one, actually.
Not just a... Yeah, that'd be weird if you're working in multiple supermarkets. Not just a supermarket.
And also another place.
You're a photographer.
Yeah, let's call it that. Amateur porn, but yeah, photographer.
I have a complaint about you.
Oh.
And your photography.
Holy shit, what?
Your latest listing, it wasn't up to... But that's tomorrow. We can talk about that tomorrow.
Alright.
It's not that bad.
Alright.
Anyway, that's off the game design topic, which is what this podcast is about.
Okay.
It's about game design, and we have actual game design to talk about. We didn't talk about it very often.
We talked about other people's game designs.
And some of them were okay.
Turns out other people are good at it.
Other people have money. That's the problem, though.
Oh. Is it?
Yes.
And time.
And time. I mean...
And the will to live.
They also have, like... crunch, though, you know, where they don't really have time, but they have to make time.
I love crunch.
I mean, we've never experienced it.
I mean, as a student of animation.
Oh, true.
I experienced it.
I suppose, and as a student of web design for a short amount of time, I also experienced it in one assignment, which I failed, because turns out I'm not good under pressure, but, you know, you live and you learn.
That's why I go with the saying, just don't try. If you don't try, you can't fail. So all you kids out there thinking about trying, just don't. Anyway, that was my pro tip.
But those words of wisdom. We have a bit more of a schedule today in this episode, and further episodes in the future.
Yeah. So
we did a little bit of an intro.
I mean, it wasn't bad.
I think it's better than the one where I said urine and then you made hentai jokes.
Oh, I like that. So
I was going to get right into what we've been doing.
Yeah, what have we been doing? What have you been doing?
What have I been doing? I've been playing games.
Oh.
I've been playing lots of video games.
Is that what you should be doing?
Equally, well, not equally actually. Like, I've been playing a lot more games, but also I've been working on my game, but we can talk about that afterwards. Later on.
Okay.
Just wanted to get like a, you know, just me and you haven't caught up in a while.
Yeah.
So I just thought we could talk about what we've been playing and, you know, maybe give any listeners an idea of where we're at.
Okay, you start. What have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot. I've been playing just in my downtime, like if I'm not, you know, maybe I've got like an hour before make tea or something. I've been playing Insurgency.
Oh yeah, I saw you on Steam the other day playing that.
I forgot that Steam has that feature. It's
I
like,
see everything you do.
I was trying to think of a good like analogy for it. It's like if Call of Duty and Counter-Strike had a baby.
Okay.
It feels like the more I play it, the more I'm like, this is like if there was a Counter-Strike 2, Insurgency really feels like it.
I mean, also, isn't Counter-Strike 2 just CSGO?
I mean, CSGO is like Counter-Strike repainted.
Right.
I mean, they added a little bit extra, and, you know, they made you pay for skins.
Nice.
And pay for spray paint, which was all free, so... I see this as Counter-Strike 2. I also thought maybe it's like, it's Call of Duty and Counter-Strike and then like they abandoned the baby, and the people who made Armour raised it. That really realistic military sim.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got like this blend, like you die super fast. It's sort of like Operation Flashpoint, but it's like arena style, like Counter-Strike, and it's just it's a lot of fun.
How much was it?
I got it in a humble bundle ages ago, but I saw, because the Steam sale's on currently.
Yeah.
It's like $1.
Oh, that's pretty expensive.
Yeah. I don't know why, like, and it's got a really good mod scene. Like, I just downloaded a whole bunch of mods, and just like its modding scene is top notch.
Speaking of mods, I saw that Rockstar went back on its whole modding ban thing on GTA.
Boy, howdy.
Because I was thinking about picking up GTA, and I like, oh yeah, it's like half price on Steam. Looked at
Did you see the
reviews,
reviews?
and it was like overwhelmingly negative. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What happened?
I on and off watched Nerd Cubed, who was a big YouTuber, if you don't know.
I do know.
Yeah, because he's obviously, for his videos, uses a lot of Grand Theft Auto mods.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he was like, fuck that. Like, ruining the mod scene.
Yeah.
He was like one of the first people to be like, told all his followers to go and rate it negatively. And that video had like over 1 million views or something, and I'm like, geez, is that going to work? And then I looked at it like 2 days later, I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, no, that worked pretty good.
And then like, they were in their message, because it wasn't Rockstar, because Rockstar's
it was,
a good company.
2K? Yeah.
Is it 2K?
It's not 2K.
It's not
Take 2?
Take Two, that's it. Yeah, they were like, it's because it was affecting multiplayer. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. You full of shit. You just want to sell your really overpriced DLC microtransaction bullshit.
Yeah. I also
That's
assume
funny.
there's like, I don't know, some like legal issues with people like adjusting a game or whatever. I don't know. It's probably
sure.
bullshit, but
The multiplayer in that game's been fucked for a long time, at least on PC, I hear.
yeah, I heard that
Like,
as well.
it's full of like hackers not related to the mods that were banned either.
Yeah.
They just hack the game, like remove buildings so they can shoot through buildings, and people were like joining the multiplayer who just brought the game, and they just get insta banned because there'd be a hacker on the server.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty bad.
So I knew that multiplayer was shit from the start. So it's just like removing single player mods is not. Anyway, yeah.
That's what I was worried about when I was thinking about buying it. I just didn't want to like get into multiplayer and then everything's just fucked.
Yeah.
'Cause
Like everyone was like, private servers are fine.
yeah.
So I mean, if we were to play it in the future, which I'm sure at one point we will, if it drops down even further.
You don't have it, do you?
I considered it, but I don't have. I have so many games.
Oh.
I'm in that like position at the moment where there's just two. I've got 2 games coming at the moment.
You've got 2 games coming out?
Yeah. No, not that I'm making.
Oh.
Just one. I've got it was actually sent to my parents' house accidentally, even though I emailed the company and was like, can you not send it there? And they're like, we'll do.
Anyway, what was it?
I got the Wipeout Omega Collection.
Oh yeah.
Which I believe is Wipeout 1 and Wipeout 2048 remastered.
Oh.
All put into one game. It was really cheap, and it has the coolest cover of all time. It's like the original PlayStation 1 case.
Yeah.
But in the PS4 shape.
Oh yeah.
But it's got like the black bar and everything, and I was like, that's just too cool not to have.
That is pretty
and
cool.
it's all like scratched up and stuff, so I was like, and Wipeout's a bloody genius game anyway.
That's pretty great.
And it came out a couple of days ago, but the Crash Bandicoot trilogy remaster, which should be here in time for you to play with
Do you not
us.
have it yet?
No, well, I got it from NZ Game Shop, and they're notoriously bad for sending things out.
Right.
I mean, I ordered both of them, and like, I know Crash has just come out, so I understand that, but
they got those
I
cheap
Wipeout.
prices.
Yeah, they have like insanely ridiculous cheap prices, so I think it's worth it if you're not, needing the game straight away.
Yeah.
So I got those 2 coming, and I'm still playing other things. I've been going back to what I've been playing. Final Fantasy 14 online.
Oh yes.
I got to level 50, and then I stopped playing for like, this has been like the 4th day.
Wow, how are you handling it?
My wrist started hurting real bad, so I stopped. Like, I'm getting into that territory where I've got like 3 skill bars, and my wrist is starting to bend in unnatural ways. I was like, I think I might take a break from this game just for a little bit.
Shit, yeah, fair enough.
I'm going to return to it, but I think that's all I've been playing. I started out Kingdom Hearts 1.5 on Sunday, I think.
Yeah.
Because I really just felt like that.
Did you just play like the first one?
I just got to the second day on Destiny Islands. I got in there and like, damn, that game is still masterpiece.
You didn't speedrun that in like half a second?
No, like, because the other save I've done it in like, I'm at the final world in
Are you just gonna
a matter of hours.
Get to level like 50 by fighting Riku?
No, by fighting Waka.
Oh yeah, Waka.
I thought about it. I laughed because I remember that we did it not like, I don't know, we got to like level 70 or something, didn't we?
I don't think it was that high. I'm pretty sure I got to like level 30 though.
We did. That was just we stayed up all night doing that shit, hitting that fucking bull back to him. No, but I wanted to beat all 3 of them, and then I wanted to beat Riku.
Yeah.
And fighting the 3 of them, man, that's so hard. Like, that's a tough challenge. Yeah. Like, I can't believe I was a kid trying to do this.
Yeah, no, it's actually a pretty intense game.
You've got to really manage them. Like, that fight's really good. But I beat those 3 after like 3 tries, and then I was like, I've got to fight Riku because he's got that score.
Yeah.
He's like, it's 1-0, and I'm like, I'm not going to lose, like, the first round, and I fucking beat him.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so exhilarating, and it's like, the start of the game, I haven't played it in years, and that game is, like, the starting still holds up, the graphics still hold up, and jeez.
Yeah. Did you, so have you named the ship yet?
No, I was just, like, turned off before that part, because I know I'm going to lose that race. I think I've beat that race once in my, like, jeez, I don't know how many, like, over 1,000 hours of Kingdom Hearts 1.
You gotta call it something pretty hilarious.
Big dong or something.
Like, yeah.
No, what is it? Because Riku's like,
fuck Riku.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Fuck Riku. I love it because there's just, like, no content barrier because it's a PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah.
So I think that's all I've been playing. Lots of Insurgency. I like just shooting things. It's fun.
Nice. I have been playing. I don't think I've played a game since we last talked.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a pretty good gamer. Pretty hardcore. Really into it.
Well, I mean, you've been working like 60-hour weeks, so.
Yeah. I played some basketball in real life.
Some IRL sports.
Yeah. It was pretty weird. I didn't really know how the controllers worked.
I hear the graphics is just phenomenal though.
Oh, no, I thought it was pretty bad.
That's weird.
But no,
human sports.
I have been missing my PlayStation 4 though a little bit.
It's hit you, the regret.
Since I sold it when I was a broke boy.
Yeah.
And
now you've got the money.
Yeah, but it seems so just so wasteful to go and buy one again. Cause
yeah, it's like $400.
Yeah.
For the standard, at least.
And but yeah, I hear now you can. Or was it you that told me you can drive around randomly anywhere in Final Fantasy 15?
Yes, you can. You can get I think it's the Type D.
The Type D.
The D for the Aurelia. I don't know.
And that just lets you drive.
It just lets you go anywhere. It makes it into like a monster truck. It looks fucking stupid. And so much of me hates Final Fantasy 15, but at least you can go off-road. Man,
I wish that it came out with features like that.
That would have been probably changed my mind. That was what stopped me from, honestly. I couldn't stand hopping in that car and just auto-driving somewhere any longer.
That's pretty bad.
And it was so like, I was like, well, I'll just skip it. And then it started just to feel like an MMO to me, where you just accept a quest and then skip, and then you're at the quest.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, I could go on about how much I dislike Final Fantasy 15 so much.
Yeah, I didn't think it didn't live up to the hype.
I mean, on one hand, how could it?
Yeah, there was a lot of hype there.
We'd been talking about it since like 2009. even earlier,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is the shit. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to think about that game. Do you know, on another note, there's on a Final Fantasy note, which is thematical because that's what our podcast is based off.
Is that who it was sponsored by?
Yes, Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 12 remaster's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I believe they said 12 days ago, like 4 days ago, so maybe like 9 days. Who knows?
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
What's it coming out on?
PlayStation 4.
PC?
I don't think so. Maybe. Maybe. They put a lot of Final Fantasies on PC now.
They
I
do.
think all of them are there, apart from like 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I saw all the 13s were there, and I was just like...
You mean the 113?
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant.
I don't think there's any other 13s.
Okay, well, you know what? You're right.
I'm excited about 12. I don't think I'm going to buy it for a while. Considering I brought a lot more.
Too much insurgency.
Yeah. I don't... You ever getting like... I know you haven't been playing games much, but you're getting like that rut of like... You play something that's quick. I had it with Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Where you just... Oh, I've got like an hour to kill, and you may have like more, but you just play like one stupid game.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's quick.
Yeah.
And it's like... I've got that with Insurgency where it's like, I'm just going to waste my time. It's a lot of fun.
Fair enough. Are we gonna talk about our games?
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
It hasn't really been 18 minutes because like, it's been like 5 minutes.
It's been like 30 seconds.
Yeah. That's everything I've been playing, so why not? Why not talk about our games?
Yeah.
What have you been doing? Because we did talk about something on another forgotten
podcast. I don't
podcast.
know what you're talking about.
Hopefully that's our last.
Last what?
Last, like, Abomination Child thrown into the trash can.
I thought it was... I enjoyed it.
I did enjoy the start. And
it was just shit talk for the whole of it, though.
That's what's good about it, though.
Yeah. It's a shame I died.
That's okay. We can rebirth it with what you've been doing lately, related to games at least, not specifically on your game.
Yeah. So I downloaded the trial of ZBrush or ZBrush, whichever you prefer, and just been modeling some stuff in that, just working out how it goes, and I'll probably take it into Maya. And I was just modeling a female woman.
Ooh.
And just gonna take it into Maya and re-topo it and make it lower poly because it's currently like 10 million polygons or something. Not optimized for a game.
No.
And yeah, I was kind of just working out how to do here for a real time for game engines. And there are some pretty good tutorials out there on different ways how to do it. Pretty much, I mean, the main way that is done in games in general is that there are planes attached to the head of a character, just like curved planes, and then there's a texture with an alpha attached to that, and in some cases like a normal and probably specular as well. And that looks good, so I'm going to try and do that.
So have you tried it yet, or you just sort of watched a tutorial or something?
No, I'm in the process. I'm trying to create hair strands in ZBrush and extract maps from that. So like it'll be like 3D like hair strands, and then from that I'll extract normal map, and somehow I'm going to extract some color from it, or just like an alpha maybe, and then like take the alpha into Photoshop and then like add color there. Yeah, so something like that. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it exactly, but it's all part of the experimentation process.
So you're just going to use this character as like a test model?
Yeah, pretty much. Just like
rig it up and use it for some random...
Yeah, just see how the pipeline goes with it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I'd like to see. I've never watched you animate anything or model anything.
You never
apart
will
from
ever again.
Back in the past. I wish we had some sort of office. That'd be cool.
Haven't you checked out my YouTube videos?
No.
Oh. Okay. Well,
YouTube?
on YouTube, Hambone Indie has some videos. There is
That's cool.
some videos of me making hats.
You know what? I did watch that. I watched that fedora.
Yeah,
video.
it's pretty much the same process as that.
You're right. And that was ages ago. I watched that so long ago.
Yeah.
True. You should do more of those. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna get around to it. Yeah. So,
I don't want to do pixel art tutorials. Not tutorials, but just like showing. There's too many good pixel artists out there, and I can't deal with that stress.
fair enough.
That's exciting because I was thinking. I've talked to you before.
You have?
About the game that I wanted to make with you.
Yes.
We won't mention anything.
Don't want no stolen ideas.
No. I've been thinking about it a lot more lately, and it's annoying because I love it to pieces.
It sounds real good.
And like I've been going over more and more of it in my head, and when you're here next, we will discuss it because it's going to be fantastic, and I can't wait till we get there.
When I am there next, it's going to be a jam-packed, 12 hours of me being there.
We've got a lot to cover. Me and my fiance haven't played Talisman forever either, so we're like jonesing for it.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, there's going to be a lot to do.
For those of you who don't know, Talisman is a board game. Not.
Boy, is it a board game.
What?
It is a video game as well, actually.
It is? Oh.
Yeah, they have it on Steam. Apparently it's not very good.
Okay.
When I watched it. But the board game version is time and money consuming. I think I spent like $200 on that board game.
Would you say it's worth it?
Yeah. It's like asking a cocaine addict. Like, would you say it was worth spending $3,000 on that little bit of cocaine? They're like, yeah, man.
Man, I do love cocaine.
Talisman. That's what you mean.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, we're just gonna set that up in front of the TV and we'll just play that all night while terrible movies are playing in the background.
Excellent. I need to catch up on that Twilight.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever watch movies non-ironically or?
We've been actually watching Twilight, ironically, over the past week.
Why though?
Just like a couple of hours ago, we just finished the second to last movie.
Oh my god.
It's just a shit show, and it's so fucking funny.
I watched Transformers 5 yesterday.
Oh.
It was, man, it was a long 3 hours.
I heard, I think I was reading a Polygon article that's saying that, the first 2/3 of it were, some of the best. I mean, that's saying, because it's trash anyway.
Yeah.
But it was, the best trash they've produced. And then, in the last hour, it was geez, why did they do this?
The whole thing was... it was so hard to sit through, honestly. I wanted to leave, but there were other people there that probably didn't want to leave.
I don't see how you could ever watch another Transformers movie.
Mark Wahlberg's just not good.
I hate Mark Wahlberg. I hate his face.
Shia LaBeouf was a lot better.
And that's saying something. I love Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf has a story arc in real life. He went from beloved child actor to just Michael Bay's bitch. And then went completely off the rails in some sort of artistic hell medium.
Yeah.
And now I think he's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, he's alright,
I think he's okay. To be honest, you know that Just Do It video?
Yeah.
I found that a little bit inspiring when I first watched it. I was because I think at the time I was procrastinating something.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thanks, Shia LaBeouf.
Thanks, Shia.
He's a dude that if you saw him, like on the street, you could be like, "Do you want to get some like McDonald's with me?" And he would.
Yeah, he probably would.
He'd probably be like, "Sure, man, I'll pay for it."
No,
I've got, like,
no, he'll be like, "You shut."
Your shit. I've got like.
I'm pretending to be
probably
homeless
loads
right
of
now.
money. Yeah, this is the new art project.
Yeah.
Boy, was that we just veered off into movie hell, didn't we?
Yeah. What were we talking about?
We're talking about what you were doing with 3D stuff.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I forgot that I should actually probably be like recording what I do, and make like a time lapse video of it. I might start doing
put it on Twitter. Put stuff on Twitter. Put screen caps on Twitter.
I should.
Like if you like.
I put that GIF on Twitter.
Yeah, you did. I think if you do like model something, and then like spend like another 2 hours on it and take another screen cap and just keep generating.
Just
I think
content.
the thing with Twitter is you generate as much content as possible, even if it's not that advanced, and then like the more people that view it, the better.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've thought about trying to just upload something like daily. Yeah, I don't know how reasonable that is because I don't work on things daily. But
yeah,
even if it's just like a bit of a meme or something, you know, like if it's not actual progress, like on that day, it could just be like some stupid meme or something.
I think it's good because not only does it get people looking at your shit, it also gets you in the habit of doing things.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest part for me now. Is like I've been trying to do it over the last 3 days. Is actually do stuff, even if it's like an hour of progress. It's like actually starts to add up. And I've been doing more game stuff than like this last week than I have for like the last 3 months.
Yeah, I find it really hard to just work on something for an hour a day. Like I'd so much rather just sit down for like 6 hours or whatever and just get heaps done. Than
I'm
like
definitely the same sort of person
working on something for
where
an hour.
I need like a cleansing period and then I can sit down for ages.
Yeah.
But I just don't have that. Like I work and then I have a little bit of time, and then I gotta make tea and stuff, and I gotta hang out with my fiance, and play with my cat. So like I'm sort of forced into these hourly segments now.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna start try and do like an hour a day, as well.
It's tough.
And
the commitment's like the hardest part.
Yeah, it's just doing it. It's just Shia LaBeouf. You just got to do it.
Yeah, see, he resonates in your ears.
He speaks wisdom.
I was gonna talk about what I've been doing.
You go for it.
So I've sent you images a while ago now. I've been tossing up what I've been doing with my art style.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't happy with I've been looking at a couple of things and looking at other pixel artists, and I was sticking to a grid a lot. And it was obvious, and I think obvious grids in games, you can stylize it correctly, but most of the time it doesn't look that good.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to like get into this blendy, sort of make the pixels a lot more custom art.
Oh yeah.
And I've sort of was going for an art style, the one that I've sent you like a month ago, and then I've changed it today-ish, or the last couple of days.
Yeah.
I actually drew my player sprite. I've been trying to figure out a player sprite. I haven't been really happy with anything, but I think it was about 2 days ago I've done a player sprite, and my game is based with Japanese art set in Japan. So I've been trying to draw a samurai as my player character.
Oh yeah.
And I've got to send it to you. I'm just actually working on everything else at the moment, trying to make like a roam that I can send.
Oh yeah.
But it's the first time I've been like fully proud of a sprite. I was like, damn, that's the shit. And I've sort of learned some new tools, like minimize, like I sort of got some traditional Japanese art of samurais and actual pictures, and I was just shrinking the crap out of them down to like 100 by 100 pixels and just going over them, and it really helps with pixel art. Yeah. I'd recommend it if you're trying to get into it, just shrinking down an actual image of a person and then just picking out the most defining parts.
Oh yeah.
I was struggling with it so much, just freehanding it. Like the proportions of a person is so weird in pixel art, like what to cut away and not what to not cut away.
Yeah.
So I shrunk a couple of things and I got outlines, and I made a sprite that I was like, damn, that's a good sprite. It's got detail in it,
It's
but
a
it's noticeable.
it's a good moment when you are happy with something you've made.
It's crazy.
I'm wondering when it's going to happen to me.
I think that's the thing though, like you've got to do it daily, and then I think you hit a point where you're like, hold on, I've got something I can go with.
Yeah.
So I got the sprite for my player character, and I'm like, that's it. This is the sprite I'm going to continue with for this game for now. Like,
For now, until tomorrow.
it will probably get reworked in time, but this is what I want, and it suits, like the colour scheme suits. I've been struggling with everything. Like colour scheme was the other one that's like, you can visualize something in your head,
Yeah.
and then you got to like the colours so hard because you expect it to appear, but art's about layering, so you've got to layer it until it gets to what you see in your head, and I've been struggling with that so much.
Oh yeah.
Another thing which is shrinking the images of these characters and seeing their colour scheme, you can sort of copy it and be like, oh, that's what looks natural together.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that stuff as well. So the character looks great, and I even drew my first enemy, which I designed on paper a little bit ago.
What kind of enemy is it?
It's this also leads on to something else which I want to talk about later, but it's so I got a whole bunch of, I've got like an inspiration folder,
Yeah.
which I'd recommend doing. Just like it's sort of like a mood board as well.
Yeah.
But I got a whole bunch of Japanese masks, and it's an enemy. I sort of want a couple of different versions of them, and it's just a Japanese mask with like a spirit blob.
Mm-hmm.
So like the blob, it's like a ghost spirit, and then the mask is attached to it, which is what's keeping it alive.
Oh yeah.
And I got this really cool animation that I'm going to have for it, where you kill it, the blob sort of evaporates, and then the mask falls on the ground.
Oh yeah. Cool.
And each different colour mask will do a different thing. So I did the same thing where I minimised the mask. It was a lot harder, but after tracing around sort of its minimised pixelated version, I came up with an own idea, which looked really cool.
Nice.
So I've got the first enemy as well, so that's good. And then just today, like minutes before the podcast started, I was working on floor tiles.
Very nice.
Which also look pretty good. I'm going for just... It's tough. The terrain is like just as tough.
Yeah.
Making it thematic.
It sounds like you've been doing quite a lot.
Yeah, I've sort of just been jamming it all in because the man that I'm who's going to be doing my music, I want to send him updated stuff.
Nice. Yeah.
So,
Have you posted anything on Twitter lately?
No.
Yeah, you should get onto that. So should I.
Yeah. I wanted to, like, because I had rooms already built in my old art style, so I wanted to get this new art style and then build a room.
Yeah.
And then you show the updated progress, because it's like, if I just rebuild a sprite, like, I'm really proud of this sprite, but if I just upload him, I feel like it's almost like I've gone backwards.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you had all these cool rooms, and I had sort of 2 levels, and then now it's just, oh, I've just started a new sprite and a different design. So I want to get a room finished, and then upload that and be like, look, this is the transition to the art that I'm going for.
Yeah, but you still want to be posting stuff, I guess. I don't know. Like, you want to keep a consistency with posting things.
I mean, this is the plan, is that I finish this room, and then it will be consistent from there.
Yeah.
Like, after this room's done with the walls and the floor tiles, the player sprite and the enemy, I'll post that, and then I'll post animations. I want to do animations next.
Ooh.
Which is going to be tough, because this is the most detailed player character I've ever done. I've done very simple designs before where animation can be done quite easily, but this... He's got a lot of colour and moving parts, so it'll be interesting.
Just
for sure.
warp tool.
Doesn't work as well with pixel art warp
No,
tool.
I can imagine.
It would sort of look like a wavy bit of paper in the wind.
Yeah. That could be a pretty cool style, you know?
It could. I mean, there's sort of stuff like that you find out on your own.
He just like wiggles around for movement.
See, that's the thing I love about indie games, is like, that's an idea, and you could apply it to a game where that's just sort of the main idea.
Nobody steal my idea.
That's my wiggly man. Is
That's
my idea.
wiggly idea.
So that's basically what I've been doing, but I've been thinking a lot about it. Ever since I designed the sprite, I've been thinking of, like, you sort of get this moment where you start thinking about the rest of the game once you think of one good idea.
Yeah.
Which is what I've been doing with the game that I wanted to design with you as well. I thought of one good idea and then my mind's sort of been trailing off on that, but after the sprite I was thinking, I'd recently watched, there's these guys on YouTube who make a documentary called No Clip.
Yeah.
Which is like video game documentaries, but they sort of looked at what was wrong with the media surrounding video games, like IGN and stuff, sort of very direct.
Yeah.
And they were sort of like Vice, where they wanted to go behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
So they recently did fantastic documentary, 3-part documentary on Final Fantasy 14.
Oh.
And how that game was really shit, and then they rebuilt the whole thing, which has never been done before.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
That's like an awesome, like, even I recommend you, I know you don't play Final Fantasy 14, but you should watch that, because they, it took them like 4 years to make the version 1 of that game.
And just
then,
like, oh.
And then they were like, this is shit. So they continued to update it while building the new one in 2 years.
Yeah, I guess it goes to show the even the big boys can, they screw it up and they have to correct their mistakes, I guess.
Yeah,
they also
that's
have
like one
the
of the
time
best
and money
parts.
for it.
I mean, like, they lost like 1 billion, like 10 billion yen or something ridiculous. Doing
Yen, so like $5.
Is that racist?
This is not racist.
No, but like they paid the price, and I think because they're a Japanese, like, I don't think an American company would have done that, or a Western company, because they were Japanese. And it was a numbered Final Fantasy. They were talking about it like it was really a thing about honor. They couldn't let players down like that.
Did people on the team just like commit seppuku?
No, they were like, it was good because they sort of talked about how there was all groups of the company making these really awesome things, but when they put it together, it was just shit because they weren't really working as one.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. But then they brought in this other director, and they worked as a team. And I mean, Final Fantasy 14 now is like the second biggest MMO in the world, so that's crazy. Anyway, that's a great documentary.
Yeah, it's hard to work in a team. Turns out, communication is pretty difficult, especially if you have a lot of people. I was just thinking back to my studying days, group projects, assignments, and even with 20 people, it's a mission to get everyone on the same page.
Yeah,
a lot of
Is,
arguments.
the guy they brought in, and I can't remember his name. He's Japanese. He's the director of Final Fantasy 14 now. He was talking about how he was going to schedule it all when he held like the meeting and stuff. And it was super cool. Just he made all these spreadsheets and sent them out to everyone, and I really like that role. Like, that's a role that I think I'd like. You need a good leader to bound everyone together.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how talented people are if like they can't work as a team. And it was cool. It was cool seeing that and the steps he took to get that game out.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Definitely watch that. It was off topic of what I wanted to say.
Oh.
The people who did that documentary also did a Spelunky documentary. Spelunk with Derek Yu. They talked directly to him and the other people who localized it to PlayStation and Xbox and PC. Well, not PC. It was already there on PC, but that documentary is also fantastic if you're more in the indie scene. Obviously, Square Enix is a massive company, so they usually do indie documentaries. They had Jonathan Blow, who'd done classic indie games as well, but the Spelunky one was especially good because I was thinking about this in the shower today.
Yeah, great ideas happen in the shower.
Derek Yu. I think you haven't played much of it. You've messed around in Spelunky with.
I'd say I'm a master, but okay.
I've played a shitload of it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking in the shower, I'm pretty sure Spelunky is the best game in the world. I'm fairly certain.
Is that what you think about in the shower?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best game.
Mechanically, I think it is the best game ever made.
It's so simple, though.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you don't know from not having played it. I think anyone who's
you don't know me.
beaten Spelunky or beaten the secret levels to Spelunky understands just how fantastic it is. And I was just thinking about every part, and Derek Yu, the guy who made it, talked about it as well, and all his history. But Spelunky is made up mechanically and design-wise from very simple parts.
Yeah.
Just like hundreds of very simple ideas that then just flow into each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like everything has a rule, but then it's how those rules interact with each other is what makes it so fantastic. And just, it's fun, it's challenging, it's simple, it's quick, and like there's just so much to it that I was just like, damn, that game's so good. That's what I want to do with my game. One thing in particular was when I was designing my enemy today.
Mm-hmm.
My first enemy, I was thinking about what he was saying in that documentary. All the enemies in Spelunky do one or two things, and that's it. Like the spiders, they fall down and then they jump.
Yeah.
And the cavemen run at you if they see you, and it's all like they have one simple command.
Yeah.
Which is very easy to code.
Yeah.
For one, which is fantastic. But it's like you learn slowly how to handle them in the early game. But what makes Spelunky complicated is when they're all in a room or a screen together.
Yeah.
And your brain has got to go through like this puzzle process of what's going to happen when you enter the screen.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like there's not like a heap amount of randomness to what the enemy's going to do. Like you know what they're going to do. You just have to work out how to get, how to beat it.
Yeah, so you're like, I'm going to enter this room, and as soon as I fall down, this caveman's going to see me, and then the spider's going to drop, and the bat's going to fly at me, and you've got to figure out what's coming at you when.
Yeah.
And that's exactly like when I was designing all these enemies. I sort of been scribbling them down. I want each enemy of mine to have one function.
Oh yeah.
And then you're going to encounter them room by room, and as you get deeper, there's going to be more in a room, and you've got to figure out what to go for first.
Yeah.
So the mask enemy that I was talking about, one of its iterations is it sees you and it shakes a little bit, and then it charges.
Oh yeah.
And that's it. And I'm like, yeah, that's a great enemy because you're in another room. If you're fighting something else, you see it shake in the corner of your eye, and you've got to move. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that's cool.
And it only works in Spelunky as well because you die very quickly.
Oh yeah.
You usually have about like 4 life, and each thing will take off 1 to 2 lives. So you die really quickly, but then you can restart really quickly, which is what something I want as well.
Yeah, something that's definitely great in those smaller games is like restarting something immediately so you can just keep going at it.
Super Meat Boy, The Binding of Isaac, all those things. It's just like, and it's great. It's got that. It's the one thing I had to learn about Dark Souls was that death helped you learn the game. And for these indie games like Spelunky, it's something that happens, like you fall on spike, oh, the spikes instantly kill me. You can just instantly restart and go again. It's like, now you can avoid the spikes.
Yeah.
And that's just such a huge learning. Like, it's a little bit more extreme with Dark Souls, where it's like you get 30 minutes into a level and then you die because you didn't know an enemy's attack. Well, you have to do the whole 30 minutes again, but at least now you know.
Yeah.
So I'm going for the same principle where there's simple things and you die and you learn and you're like, I know how to avoid this now. And I think just the enemy designs that I jotted down, it's like, this is going to be really fun.
It makes it really addictive. Well, for some people, there are always those people that will just like die once and be like, no, fuck it.
Well, you like, it's the same with. I remember when Dark Souls 1 came out, and I was looking at forums, and there was people like, this game's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to commit to the game, but I mean, how the indie scene has grown now, especially with Dark Souls being a huge influence, and this hardcore sort of, there's definitely a group now that wants hardcore games.
Yeah.
The other thing, because I was still thinking about Spelunky. Like I said, I think it's the best game ever made. It's not my favourite game, but once again, it's sort of like the Pulp Fiction of video games.
Well, man, that's a big title to put on it.
It's just good. Like, you just can't argue. There's nothing you can argue about Spelunky. It's just good.
True.
The other thing I really liked about I've been watching. Have you seen the game Dead Cells?
Sounds familiar, but no, I don't recall.
It's sort of this early access indie game that's taking the scene by storm. It's the next. I 100% think it's the next big thing.
Yeah.
For indie games, 2D platformer, very fast, very brutal, You can die quite quickly, and it's got fantastic pixel art and just a shitload of weapons and skills. And like I don't know where it came from and how they've done it, but everything just reacts. You can throw oil on enemies and then light them on fire with like a flame whip, and there's just so much going on. I think it's like a masterpiece. And I was thinking to myself as I was working on my game, I don't have these weapons like this like the roguelike scene, you know, the indie game scene with random generation.
Yeah.
Like the Binding of Isaac as well has all these items and all these combinations. I was like, that's what people are sort of craving at the moment.
Yeah.
They want randomness each run to be completely different and see all these new combos. I'm like, shit, you know, the thing I'm working on, I can't do that. I don't have the ability to do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then I was reminded of Spelunky, and I was like, Spelunky has like 8 items, I think.
Yeah, it's
and
limited.
they're not essential, but they have a purpose. Just like the enemies have 1 or 2 things, the items have 1 or 2 things, like the spike boots allow you to one-hit kill things if you land on their head.
Yep.
And they also allow you to stay steady on ice as you slip on the ice in the ice cave level.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is what I want to do with my game as well. At the start I thought I'd have around 8 items, and I need them to be specific because I can't generate millions of properties.
Yeah.
And I was just, I sort of think about it more, I'm like, I'm actually starting to dislike what Dead Cells was doing with all these weapons and the Binding of Isaac does with all these items. I think it gets a bit overwhelming.
Okay. I mean,
like, you know, in an MMO or like a loot game where there's just too much shit.
Yeah, I definitely find that with some games. It's kind of the same with like customization. It's just like, you know, there's this game and you can customize the freaking wire color, the electric conductive properties of this fucking electric dildo on the end of a gun. And it's just like, I don't need to go into that detail, and I can't be bothered. I just want to like play the game.
Yeah,
I just want to use that electric dildo.
Something like Borderlands where you, and it's great because, oh wow, cool, this gun has like flaming ammo and stuff, but you start to dilute it, I think. And I've been watching Dead Cells. I've watched Northern Lion, a big YouTuber, play a lot of it, and I was like, this is so cool. This is the next big thing. And then as I've been watching, he's sort of like into the 40s, I think now. I was like, it's just, he's going with one sort of specific build.
Yeah.
And the same thing happens in the Binding of Isaac. You're like, oh, there's those real powerful items that I'm looking for. And the rest of it just becomes passives, like damage up and speed up. And it's like pointless.
Yeah, like you just...
It has no value anymore.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like you want your items, like each one to actually be useful and special. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. And it goes back to Spelunky. It's like, you can beat Spelunky without any of these items, but having them just, you're like, oh cool, I've got this item and now it's going to make this section so much easier. Or now I have the ability to do this.
Yep.
And it's just so much better. I like that so much more. I think people need to rewind back a little bit on indie games and think about what really matters with your items. Because it just becomes a bit rubbish. There's a bit too much going on. So I hope what I'm doing now adds to this. And it's cool as well. I think it's, you beat something and you see the item, then you're like, oh shit, I need that item for this specific thing, and it's going to help my journey so much.
Yeah, it's like a lot more rewarding if it's just like a set of items that's like very minimal, and you eventually finally see one and you're just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's that same feeling with Dark Souls does it as well. I mean, there's a lot more item sets in there, but it's not like Diablo, where, you know, if a sword just dropped in Dark Souls and it had 1,000 properties, you'd be like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember the first time I ran through Dark Souls and I'd find like a great sword, I was like, holy shit, this has changed my life. I've done something. That's what I've been thinking about today. I thought about a lot about Spelunky and how it's really about refinement, I think. Especially if you're a single indie developer or a small team, you've got to focus on what matters. Everything's got to have a purpose.
Yeah.
I think if you're just throwing stuff in there because it's just more shit, then I don't know, it's not good.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Something to think about.
That is some good food for thought.
Lovely brain munching.
What else is on our list?
That was my spiel.
Man, you had a good spiel.
Yeah, it's just something I wanted to talk about. Is there any gaming news? Have you had any gaming news?
I haven't really heard anything.
We talked about Final Fantasy 12, that's coming out.
Yeah, Crash is out. My
exciting.
flatmate's been playing Crash.
People say it's real good.
I mean, it's just like exactly the same except better graphics.
I know, and that's real good.
Yeah.
The worst part, and I know it because I've been talking about Dark Souls, this is a little bit ironic. People were comparing it to Dark Souls.
Really?
There was one review, and I couldn't even read it. It made me sick just looking at it. But they're like, I think they were whinging about because Crash has a life system,
Yeah.
which a lot of people can't handle because they're little bitches in video games now. But it's like you die and you're starting again back from your level. Like you fucked up. You got to get good, son.
How can people be complaining about that now?
I have no clue. And I was just like, I can't read their review, but I think that just a lot of people they weren't born in that era where games were fucking absolutely brutal. And I've been playing through Crash 1, 2, 3 on the PS3, the original stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this shit's tough.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
The first Devil May Cry game. I tried to play that like a few years ago when it came out on the 360, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I was just like, holy shit, that's right. This is what games used to be. If I can just no instructions, just go. Just do it.
Because I picked up DMC 1, 2 and 3 just before that latest one came out. Which was just called DMC.
Yep.
And I love that game to pieces, but I picked up the first three because I'm like, I've got to catch up with the story. I played a little bit of Devil May Cry 1 like ages ago, like PS2 era.
Yeah.
And I wasn't good enough to play it, but I got through sort of the first DMC, and that game is fucking hard.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you lose all your lives, you just start again. It doesn't give a fuck. But the best part about it is you die like 3 times, and you have to manually fire your guns. You have to manually aim and fire them, like Resident Evil style.
Yeah.
And it's like you die like the third time, the second or third time, and there's a message that pops up. It's like, would you like us to turn it on to auto mode so you don't have to aim your guns? And it's snarky. Like it fucking takes the piss out of you.
Oh, man.
It's like, you've been dying. Do you want to make it easy for you? And it's like you just get so angry. You're like, you little bitch. I want to see that on more games. I want to see it like, there's no difficulty mode. You can't change it from easy, medium, hard, but if you die too much, it offers to make it easier.
It just mocks you and like...
It's so sarcastic. I'm like, you fuckers.
That's funny.
I'm looking through gaming news now to see what I can dig up.
Man, sounds like we should have done some pre-production work before this podcast.
Just go with it.
Right.
I think we've had a meaty section anyway. We're almost at an hour.
Love the meat.
Diablo 3 is getting a necromancer. Diablo 3 sucks.
So no one cares.
They actually announced that they're remastering Diablo 2.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think that's a move where it's like, this was one of the most beloved games of all time, so we're going to bring it back for people. I think it's like, Diablo 3 is kind of shit, so here's the better one.
Here's the better one, except new.
If you're a fan of Diablo-like games, please play Path of Exile. It's made by a New Zealand company, and it's the best ARPG loot porn game of all time.
Mm.
And it's free, and it's not got a bullshit microtransaction system in it.
That's crazy.
How crazy is that?
How do I support the developer?
You can buy cosmetic items.
Nice.
And they also have, for their like updated betas, you can pay to get into the beta.
Oh yeah.
But then it comes out anyway. That like wholeheartedly one of the best developers of all time, and it's a New Zealand company, which is even better because we don't have enough NZ developers for sure.
Yeah. But there's been some good games and modders coming out of this country.
Yeah, well, like the DayZ guys,
Yeah.
New Zealand, and a couple of indie devs
Yeah.
from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Jeez, fuck, it's sparse on gaming news. You know, there's E3 and then there's like nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
you excited about anything from E3 specifically?
there was that Kingdom Hearts trailer.
Hold on, you cut out there. What'd you say?
There was the Kingdom Hearts trailer.
Yes.
So
Very exciting.
I'll be excited in about 5 years when that comes out.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts, like the trailers come out, I get direly excited for one day and then I have to suppress it all again.
Yeah.
You can't let it get out of control. You'll die.
Yeah. You're gonna suppress that.
So that was cool. Yeah, I took that in. The one thing that I've been thinking about, like the only game I've been thinking about since E3 was Monster Hunter Worlds.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I want nothing more than to just play that with you all day, every day.
That would be real good.
I actually started up Monster Hunter. Is it just called Monster Hunter X or Generation X on my Nintendo 3DS?
Oh yeah, you have a 3DS.
Yeah, I was like a bit of bust this out. I feel like a bit of Monster Hunter, and that game kicks ass. Monster Hunter's like the greatest. I'm excited for this because it's like, ever since Dark Souls came out and games like it, I was like, man, Monster Hunter needs to do this.
Oh,
like
I just remember. I was lying before when I said I hadn't played any games. I just remembered.
What have you been playing?
I've been playing some Tekken 7.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, with
how's that?
It's just like every other Tekken game.
You kick and you punch?
You kick, you punch, you grab.
Yeah.
You're done.
Does it look really good?
It doesn't look as good as I thought it would, actually. It kind of just looks pretty much exactly the same as like the last generation, like the 360, PS3, whatever it was on. It looks
such a
pretty much the
weird
same as
game.
that.
Like, I guess like it's revered in the fighting game community, but I watched Tekken as an animated movie that I watched when I was like 12.
Was that any good?
It's like the only time like the story of Tekken's really cool.
Yeah.
But it can't keep going.
Yeah.
Like you can't just keep hosting fighting game tournaments and then like it just canonically it doesn't make any sense. The story stops making sense. And I'm sure it's continuing on, but like the base premise of like Heihachi being like a cunt and throwing his son off into a volcano and then his son climbing back up the volcano and getting revenge on him, it's badass. It's so cool.
It's pretty great. I haven't played the story. I've just been playing like 2-player with my flatmate, and it's pretty fun. They've added this new thing. It's like in Soul Calibur where you have the critical edge.
You can okay.
What is it called? Critical edge? Yeah, something like that.
Soul edge.
Soul edge. Yeah.
Like super move.
Yeah. So they've basically just added that for every character. Like it has its own special one. And
who have you been playing?
A lot of times we just go random because like it's just an interesting matchup. But one of my favorite characters is what's that one called? Nina.
Oh yeah, Nina. What a classic Tekken character.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some new ones in there as well, which seem pretty good. Pretty, classic Japan doing some weird robot shit.
I haven't played a fighting game since me and you last played Soul Calibur.
We should play Soul Calibur again.
We will play Soul Calibur again. I want a new Soul Calibur game.
Yes. I also want that.
It's the best fighting game series.
I love it.
With no argument. It's silly, it's out of control, and you can make your own character.
The customization was ridiculous. I don't think they've even matched that in the latest Tekken.
No. Well, like, it's because they've got characters,
They've got too many rules in Tekken. It's
yes, and it's very, like, their characters are set. They've got a war, so...
So you can't add, like, a raccoon tail that looks like a giant dick on the front of someone.
They won't allow that.
Which was obviously the best feature of Soul Calibur.
Oh man, Soul Calibur's so good. We've got so much to do. You're gonna have to stay for the whole week.
Yeah, I just won't leave. We're gonna do a Worms podcast.
Oh yeah, I was gonna talk to you more about this when you were here. Again, more things to talk about. So I think, like, my preliminary idea is 2 standard podcasts and then a podcast Let's Play.
Yep.
And I was thinking about it, but I also, for your birthday, I got you Titan Quest.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, having 2 weeks between Titan Quest Let's Plays would be weird because it's a story-driven game. So I was just like, when you come over next week, we need to sort out a timetable.
Yeah.
Like that we can actually fulfill. Because, I want to do that. See, like, it'd be tough to do 2 podcasts a week, but I feel like that's almost the path we're going to have to go down.
All right.
If we want to do games, or like we just, we don't even do Titan Quest and we just stick to 2 normal podcasts and a Worms one.
That's a lot of podcasting.
It is. I mean, it's still once a week, is what I'm saying.
Oh, right, I see.
But, you do 2 weeks of standard podcasts where we just talk shit, and then we play Worms and talk shit.
Yeah. I mean...
something like that.
I mean, I guess it's not that difficult to do, like a gameplay one as well. Like, it's just... we'll probably just be talking about the same shit, and then just there'll be video. The
gameplay one, I think, is just going to be a lot... Like, I don't think I'm going to go on a spiel about Spelunky. I think it's going to be just more us just chatting and enjoying the game.
Yeah.
Whereas I want this to be more focused and more structured about our development and other games being developed.
Yeah. Alright. That sounds pretty
Maybe
good.
if you're listening out there, you could tell us. There's a comment section.
There is.
You can be like, hey, I want to see you play Worms all day, every day.
24/7 stream.
Damn. I've dreamed about that.
What, a 24/7 stream?
Yeah, not a 24/7.
Oh.
It's a week-long stream.
Oh, yeah.
No, a 24-hour stream.
Oh.
I'd like that.
I don't know if I'd like... I think I'd like that for the first, 8 hours. I'd be like, this is cool. And then
Yeah, but
after
that's the spirit,
Yeah. I don't have that amount of time off work.
No, yeah, that's the other... I can't do that. I can't be doing that sort of bullshit. I need to get back into streaming.
Cool and sick from the stream.
Donation incentive to Cool and Sick from the stream. Yeah, Twitch is so... You can get a subscriber button so easily now.
Yeah, that's right. You were telling me about this.
I want to stream a lot more, but once again, it's finding time because I'm doing this game design stuff more. I want to keep the balance.
Keep the balance.
But it's like when I mess around in games, it's like, do I just keep my mic off and just start streaming?
Yeah, we can.
And just.
Can you? How flexible is the Twitch streaming? What kind of content can you stream? Could you stream game development?
Yes, you can stream game development. There's a creative tab. Which is just everything. You can do IRL art, you could do sculpting, modelling, anything. You can do all that.
Cool. We should do that.
A lot of indie devs do, pixel art tutorials and stuff, live streaming.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I probably won't do a tutorial because I'm too stupid, but...
Yeah. We can also do podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
They have a podcast tab, but... I don't know, because, the point of stream... I mean, you have to stream to build up an audience, but I think I'd rather build up an audience playing games and then do a podcast stream.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're streaming to no one.
Yeah, and it would be like we're chatting now. I want questions to answer,
My computer just went into sleep mode.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Hopefully you haven't lost...
No, it looks like it's fine.
I've noticed.
I'm very excited that my 525 gig SSD is on its way this week.
Oh, shit. How much did that cost?
$200. It's
Man,
pretty
that's
good.
not bad.
Yeah.
That's 50 cents a gig.
Yeah. It's from a store that is no longer a physical store.
Dick Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got my tablet off no longer physical store Dick Smith.
That's his title now. Yes, no longer physical store Dick Smith. Hello.
Hello, welcome to non-physical. It's like some guy in a void dimension. Yeah. We have no physical presence in the ethereal realm anymore. Welcome to Dick Smith. But mine came from Australia.
Oh, really?
Is yours coming from Australia?
Oh, shit, I hope not.
Because I didn't check, yeah, because I was like Dick Smith NZ, and you click on NZ, and I'm pretty sure it just redirects you to the AU one now.
Who knows?
Because I don't think they have
No,
a
I'm pretty
warehouse
sure
at
it
all.
was I'm pretty sure it was New Zealand. It had like NZ delivery and stuff from
Yeah,
Australia.
so did-
I don't know.
So did mine.
Okay.
Like, you should check it, because I did the exact same thing. I'm like, why is this taking so long to ship?
How long did
And then I
yours
was like,
take to
oh, it
get
takes
there?
like... It only took like 5 days.
Oh yeah.
I thought it would take like 2 days, so...
I feel like it was just like a NZ. Hang on.
It could... I'm pretty sure there is an NZ warehouse they still ship from, but I'm pretty sure it auto redirects you to the Australian one.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Order dispatched. Left our warehouse. Doesn't say which warehouse. We ship goods from multiple facilities, so if your order is incomplete, don't worry. Okay, that's not... Oh, hold on, I'll track it. I'll click to track.
This was actually part of the podcast schedule that I've written
Oh,
down.
you know what? When I clicked click to track, it took me to a .au site.
Oh, you've done it. You did exactly what I did.
So, yeah, that could be coming from Australia.
Yeah, because the first time I did it, I was like, oh wow, Dick Smith still have like a warehouse in New Zealand? I thought they were eviscerated in the firestorm.
The
And
firestorm
then,
of capitalism.
It turns out I'm pretty sure they don't, and you're just ordering from Australia now.
Yeah, looks like I did.
It's not that bad.
Shipping was only like $9 or something.
Yes, that's also why I never check, because I'm like, man, shipping's pretty cheap for New Zealand, and then it wasn't even New Zealand.
Oh well, I'll see that SSD in a couple of weeks.
Oh, jeez. I'm going
Oh.
to tell you about dumb customers that I have to deal with in my job. Because boy,
Tell me
have
about
I
it.
had to deal with some dumb ones. This can be a little bonus section to the podcast.
Oh, nice.
What I have to deal with today, because I'm kind of a customer service person.
Yeah,
Kind of.
you got the live chat.
I do have the live chat, and I have to deal with eBay customers. I had one. We don't do PO box addresses in Australia because of our shipping company.
All right.
And one person just sent me a message, and they were like, "Why don't you ship to PO boxes?" And I was like, "What does it matter? You know, like it says we can't. Why ask?"
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, you know, shipping. You got to put on a smiley face, even though you hate them."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, shipping company." And then they were like, "Well, how are you going to get the item to me?" And they hadn't brought anything. And I was like, "Do you have a home address?" And they're like, "Yeah."
So
And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You just send it here. Oh. That was annoying. And then
doesn't want people knowing where they live.
what was the other one? Our company had a previous name, and then I had someone on Trade Me who went to the bank to pay for the item.
Oh yeah, like
I don't.
it's like pre-internet banking like style.
Yes,
Yeah.
they went to a bank. Like, they must have pissed off bankers so much. But what are you doing?
I had to cash
But
a
they
check
went
the
there-
other day. That was weird.
That's fucking weird. Anyway, they went to the bank, and they gave the banker our account number.
Yeah.
And the banker was like, "Oh, it belongs to this company," and they were like, "That's not the company. What the hell?"
Yeah.
So they gave us neutral feedback, and they were like, "How can you even trade on Trade Me?" And we're like, "We've got 8,000 stars," and they were like, "You're providing incorrect information," and I was just like, "Look, it states in our listings." Fucking idiot! You're a fucking idiot. Everyone's dumb. Don't ever work in customer
No,
service.
don't.
I inadvertently got pushed into customer service, and it's the worst.
It's horrible.
I've had people ask me what size their children's shoes are.
What size are my children?
I had this lady who was like, we got the UK size in our shoes, and they're like, will this fit my child? And I was like, are their children not wearing shoes?
Yeah,
Can you not check?
It's a very New Zealand thing for people to walk around without shoes on.
It is.
It
then
kind of annoys me.
I was like, surely she's going to come back and be like, oh, they're a UK size or they're an NZ size. But she said they were 200 millimeters.
What?
And she gave me these millimeter dimensions. She measured his foot in millimeter dimensions. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. How do you function as a human being in our society? Do you go to a shoe store and give the person there millimeter dimensions? What's wrong with you?
That's so weird.
We have systems in place so you can pick shoes for yourself.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable.
Well, they haven't a laugh. Surely they just having a laugh.
I hope so, because they got me. I was mad.
They got me.
It was effective trolling, because I was just fucking, I screen capped it and sent it to the company and they all laughed. Fucking idiot.
Good time.
It's just annoying because I had to take time out of my day to, go into a fucking calculator and figure out what size it was and send it back to them, and then we didn't even have that size and they fucked off. They didn't even buy anything.
Oh. Jeez.
It should be like, unless you're going to buy, you're not allowed to ask questions.
No questions allowed.
You're only asking a question so you can confirm the purchase.
Yeah. Who's wasting people's time? Just asking random questions.
It was a spiel. It was un-game related, but I think we're done.
Okay.
I hope people listened on to that because that was good. It's
you
good
can
to get it out
follow
there.
me on Twitter.
Yeah, you should state your Twitter because
I don't think I have yet.
No.
Actually, I don't remember if we did it in the first one or not.
What is it? It's at something.
My Twitter account. Actually, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter by @HamboneIndie. So no spaces.
H-A-M bone or one word?
HAMBONE indie.
Nice. Space indie or just one?
Not altogether. Not gonna spell it indie because people can probably work that out.
Hopefully.
It's
not with a Y.
Not with a Y.
It's an IA.
Yep.
And you can find me at www.
HTTP.
S. Don't forget the secure.
All right.
And you'll be posting things there from now on.
You better believe it.
I better believe it.
I better believe it too, otherwise I won't do it.
You can find me at Indie7F, another indie name. And that's all one word.
It's like we're trying to be indie developers or something.
It's almost like that's what we're trying to do
I'm
with
just
our
going
life.
to start putting AAA at the end of mine.
That would be crazy. I thought about that, like, what if I get really successful? Do I have to change it to AAA 7F? Like, I don't want to make that commitment. That sounds terrible. I'm just going to stay in indie.
It'll just be an ironic indie at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, we make like $1 million games, but we're an indie company.
Pranked. Go on,
you can find me at Twitter, and
at Twitter.
I don't do a personal YouTube, and I deactivated my Facebook page because who uses Facebook?
Wow, you deactivated your Facebook?
No, not my Facebook. My Facebook page for Indie7F. I'm posting more things. You should follow me if you want to check out my game. It's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool stuff. And you can find this podcast in a number of places.
Where can they find it?
It's Twitter. The Twitter is at For Gil, and that's FOR, not numeral.
Yeah.
And it's the same for YouTube, and it's the same for Tumblr, and it is the same for SoundCloud.
Do we have a Spotify yet?
You can't upload to Spotify.
What are you on about?
I think you need premium.
Oh, I have premium. I can do it.
Yeah, but then it's on your account.
Okay.
So I was just like, I'm gonna go with, and I looked at Spotify. Spotify's more like they do podcasts there, but
yeah,
I was like, isn't SoundCloud has a podcast category?
Yeah, we'll put it on SoundCloud.
So yeah, I haven't had a look at SoundCloud yet, but it's there, and I will include all those links in the YouTube video this time.
Yeah. Because
last time I didn't.
Nice, a good one.
And that's everything. We're going to be back next week.
Well, I guess we will.
We've got 7 days to record another podcast, and
it's surprisingly difficult.
It is. People get sick. Hamish gets sick.
I don't know what you're talking about. My health is 110% all the time.
I go shopping and make tea too late. Like, we had tea at like 9.
You just eat Maccas every day.
I do not eat Maccas every day.
You should do that. Today I had a mate's Hunger Buster, And you know how like when you eat a lot of food, especially like unhealthy food, you feel like lethargic and like lazy as fuck after it?
Yes.
You just want to like
Makes
sleep.
you sleepy. Yep.
Yeah, well I balance it out with like a really strong coffee and my body's just really confused right now. I think I'm going to have a heart attack, but
taking sleeping pills and pet pills at the same time.
Yeah.
I had honey soy sesame chicken.
Oh, that sounds real good.
There was too much soy sauce and it wasn't very good.
Oh, okay. I take that back. It sounds terrible.
Yeah. I did the day before though, which was supposed to be a podcast day, but was scrapped because I wanted to make good tea. Was crispy Mexican chicken burgers.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And dude, it's a banger. You do you got to beat an egg. That's the moistener.
I'll have to beat my egg.
You beat your egg. Get it moist.
Yeah.
And then you hit it with a little bit of chili powder, garlic granules, 5 spice, a little bit of you got to go full on pepper, full on salt. Girls. Yeah, a bit of the Spice Girls. Throw the Spice Girls in there, and then some flour, and then you just coat that. Pepper? Just normal chili, no red hot chili peppers.
Okay.
And then just a little bit of oil and just pan fry that. Oh. It's a good burger. It's a burger I recommend.
Well, thank you for listening to our food porn podcast.
We talk about food, movies, and work bullshit.
We'll be back next week.
With more bullshit.
With more bullshit. Maybe some more food.
I think it's going somewhere.
Oh. I thought it was just going nowhere.
I think it's going somewhere slowly.
Alright, that's it. I'm out of here.
Peace out.
Goodbye.
See you later.